All right, guys, today I'm going to give you the exact blueprint that separates the best from everybody else, the savage to the average. This is the difference maker. This isn't theory. This isn't motivational fluff. This is the real deal. You've been wondering what makes champions different, why some people dominate in their fields, they're killing it, and others struggle just to be average, why some salespeople make millions of dollars while others barely squeak by and hit their quota, why some entrepreneurs build mega freaking empires, movements, while others can't get past their first year. I'm going to break down the exact formula that the elite producers that I've coached all around the world, thousands of people have used to rise to the top in any field, whether you're in sales, business, sports, any profession. This is the roadmap for greatness. Lean in. This is the greatest roadmap you'll ever see. But I'm warning you right now, this isn't for the people that want participation trophies. That doesn't exist when I grew up. This isn't for the people that think that they just deserve success for showing up. That didn't exist when I grew up. This is for the people who are ready to do whatever it takes to become legendary. If that's you and you're ready to discover what separates the top 1% from everyone else, let's go. The first thing that you need to understand in this is becoming the best isn't about talent. It's about identity. I want you to write that word down, identity. Most people, they operate backwards. They wait for the results to feel successful. Here's where your identity should really come from. It's not in the results. It's not in your looks. It's not in another human being. It's not in your car. It's not in your house. It's from God. You are made in God's image. Your identity starts with the fact that you reflect the image of God himself. You are his child. You carry this divine value and purpose. Genesis 1:27 says this, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. You have to understand this. Your identity shouldn't come from all these things. It should come from your creator, from God himself. When you understand that he's your father, you operate in something different where you're not worried and you're not placing all these labels and things on yourself and what people think of you, and you're trying to find your identity through success and all of these things. It's through God. Let me read another piece of scripture for you so you really understand this. Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. When you step into Christ, your past doesn't define your identity. It's reborn in him. You have to understand it's not about who you were. It's about who you're becoming. When you start to believe in Christ, you should start to walk differently, talk differently, carry this inner spirit, this inner afterglow of Jesus. By the way, that's really attractive. If you want to be a better salesperson and leader and you carry that inner glow from God, and that's your identity, that's where you draw your power from, you're different. So let me explain this for me. Champions, they have to operate from that type of identity. Champions also, they decide who they want to be and then they act like that person until they become that person. Decide who you want to be and then start acting your way into it, which doesn't mean just mentally act. It means take action towards that person you want to become. If that person's in good shape, you start to work out. If that person talks a certain way, you start to talk a certain way. If that person studies a certain way, if they're committed a certain way, if they're disciplined, act a certain way. Think about your future self in 5 years and what would that person tell you to do today? That's going to be your greatest mentor. And what would their identity carry? What would their reputation be? And then start to act like that person. When I was building my career in sales, I didn't wait to feel like a top producer. I acted like a top producer even when I was still struggling, but I dressed like one. I talked like one. I still carried the attitude of one. And eventually I became one. Here's the difference. Average performers think I'll work harder when I start making more money. Champions think I'll make more money when I start working like a freaking champion. You don't have to feel ready to be ready. You don't have to feel confident to act confident. You don't have to feel motivated to take relentless, motivating action. The best, understand this. I want you to write this down. Your feelings follow your actions, not the other way around. Let me say this again for you. Your feelings follow your actions, not the other way around. Let me tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. To become the best, you're gonna have to become obsessed. Obsessed with everything you do. Not interested, not motivated, obsessed. Obsession is the price of greatness. Well, everyone is watching Netflix, they're out on the boat, You're studying. While everyone else is sleeping in, you're up at 4:30 a.m. like a psychopath. I was up at 3:30 a.m. when Andy started this business for years, grinding. I heard Eric Thomas talk about the 3 a.m. club, and I said, if he said it, I'm doing it. I was kicking everybody's butt. Why? Because I was obsessed. I still am obsessed. And there's another level that I'm unlocking even right now as we talk about it. While everyone else is making excuses, you're making progress. You need progress in your life. If you want to be somebody that stays on fire, that word progress is going to be your key. Are you getting progress right now in your life? If you're not, it's just because you're not obsessed. If you want to become a public speaker, if you want to become a great salesperson, whatever the hell you want to become, are you studying like the greats in the business? I remember when I was in the car business and I would listen to sales training for 3 hours every single freaking day on my drive to work. Not music, not podcasts. Me and my brother always just listening to different tapes, different things. Sales training, leadership training, personal development. For 8.5 years straight, we did this. And we're going on 15 years of being obsessed with personal development. But in the car business, it was every day, every day. People thought I was crazy. They'd say, Evan, you already know this stuff. You're already one of the best. But here's what they didn't understand. The best don't just learn something once, they master it through repetition. Andy told me this at one of my first seminars. He said, you're gonna run into somebody one day that's gonna make you look like an effing amateur. And that day, that was him. When I role played with him and I thought I was the best, he almost embarrassed me. Like I felt embarrassed. And one of the things that I never want to feel is I never want to feel embarrassed. I want to feel like a professional at my job. We do this all the time. If you can't handle basic objections, if you can't handle basic closes, if you can't talk about your business and get up in front of 500 people and be confident to teach it, it just means you're not prepared. It just means you're not obsessed. Here's the obsession checklist that you must have. First, you have to think about your craft the second you wake up. You're not obsessed if you're not thinking about it. Hell, I dream about my job every single day. I freaking love it. You study it during your free time. How much time are you putting into it? Can I ask you a question? How many books have you read and tore through about sales, leadership, mindset, physical fitness, whatever you're into, whatever your business is? How many books have you finished in the last 30 days? If the answer is none, you're not obsessed. You practice it even when you don't feel like it. Ooh, man, listen, guys, think about this for a second. When you feel like it, when you don't feel like it, that's going to be the test of a true winner. Do you get out and do it? I don't feel like doing most of the shit I do every single day, but I got to do it. You seek out the hardest challenges. You never stop learning and improving. Here's the reality. When you're being balanced, someone is being obsessed. Everybody likes to hijack that word balance. It's bullshit. Somebody else is being obsessed, they're beating you, and they're going to take your spot, your clients, your opportunities. All of them are going to go to those people that are obsessed. You're going to lose market share. Balance is for people who want to stay average. Obsession is for people who want to stay legendary and become legends and be thought about as legends, want to have that reputation of being pros. Now, obsession without direction is just chaos. You need a system. Here's what I call the skill stacking system. I'd like you to write that down. Level 1, master the fundamentals. Write that down. Before you try to get fancy, master the basics. In sales, that means practicing, presenting, closing. In business, that means understanding your market, your product, your customers. Most people skip the fundamentals because they're boring. Champions obsess over the fundamentals because they know where the real power lies. Level 2, develop your signature skills. You have to have some signature things that you're known for. What are you going to be known for? What's your superpower? For me, it was building relationships and handling objections. I became so good at these that people would refer prospects to me just to watch me work. They saw a person that didn't invite any chaos into the deal, that could handle multiple deals at once because I was so skilled. And by the way, I made it fun the entire time, so people were entertained watching me do my job. Level 3, write this down. Stack complementary skills. The best don't just have one skill. They stack multiple skills that compound into each other. Great salespeople also understand that the psychology, the communication, and human behavior are all going to come into play. So understand that you're going to have some of those complementary skills that feed each other. Level 4, innovate and lead. I want you to write this down. If you're not innovating, you're dying. Once you've mastered the existing game, you start creating new rules. You become the person that others study and they copy. I'll tell you, a lot of people, you can tell when they're copying the system that the Elliott Group's built, whether it be in their seminars, the way they they run, the team culture they have. I love it. If they're copying us, that's a form of flattery. There's a way that we've done it where other people, they want to do it like us. There's a way we've done it where we've integrated our families, our business, our fitness. Nobody was talking about combining all this stuff. It was get good at sales and that's it. Get good at fitness and that's it. Be a good husband, that's it. Get close to God and that's it. There was nobody that integrated all of them. So what did we do? That's who we are. So we put that out there. We were innovating, but then we were also leading people on our team, leading people through those core values that we believe in. Just telling you, you're going to have to do that if you want to do something different. You want to get treated differently than your competition? Start to act differently than your competition. But here's something most people don't understand about becoming the best version of you. You have to actively seek pressures. I tell my team this, I tell my kids this all the time. Average performers, they avoid pressure. They avoid that little uncomfortable feeling, the little butterflies running around in their stomach. They call it anxiety. I call it excitement. I label it as excitement, not anxiety, and I go chase down those pressures while the average stay in their comfort zone. Champions run towards pressure because they know that's where the growth happens. Like, it is really uncomfortable to chase these pressures because you think you're scared. But when are you the most alive? When you go attack one of those pressures and you come out of it, say for example, like you do your first public speaking gig or you do your first sales meeting and talk in public. Most people are scared to do that. What happens after? You're like, oh man, that wasn't so bad. Now you're creating a new identity. You're feeling better. Here's the pressure strategies that you have to understand if you want to become the best in the world that I followed for the last several years and the best in the world follow. Strategy number one, take on impossible goals. Set goals that scare the shit out of you. Patrick Bet-David calls them BHAG goals, the big, hairy, audacious goals. Goals that make other people think you're absolutely crazy. Goals that focus you to become a different person to achieve them. You're not okay with who you are. I know you're not. That's why you're on this video. I'm not your mom. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, you're good, honey. You're not good. That's why you're stirred up and you're pissed off inside because you want better for your life. So do I. You're going to start chasing pressure. Strategy number two, compete with the best. You have to compete up. There's something called the law of the lid. If you're around all these average people, you're going to be average. You need to pay to get in VIP rooms. You need to get in different circles. You need to go find different networking groups that you can provide value to, whether that's setting up their food, just giving good energy, greeting people at the door. I don't give a shit if you're doing the check-in for these networking events. You have to actively go seek a new environment. Find the best in your field and measure yourself against them. It'll either inspire you or expose you. Both are valuable. When I came down and met Andy, I thought I was one of the best. He exposed me. I was like, holy shit, this guy's way better than me. I had some work to do. Just instantly just being around him and seeing that made my income go up 30%. Strategy number three, put yourself in high stakes situations. Volunteer for the biggest presentations. Take on big meetings. I remember some meetings that scared the shit out of me that I had to go into, that I didn't have Andy with me or my brother with me. Well, I had presentations or Zoom calls that I had to do with some bigger clients or just meetings, man. Take on those bigger presentations. Take on the most difficult clients. Put yourself in situations where failure isn't an option. I remember, early on, we have a team member on our team named Maria. She had to do her first big dealer training and she's about to train all these dealers. She's never done one. Typically she would sell it and I would do it for her. Well, Andy used to do this to me a lot. He would right before the meeting, like 15 minutes before, tell me he couldn't make the meeting. I decided I wanted to do that to her one day, because I wanted her to feel the pressure and for her to either perform or crack under the pressure and for her to motivate her to go get better. So that way when things come up, she knew she was capable of making it happen. Tell you what, she buried that meeting. She was shaking the entire time. I walked in, she was sweating, nervous as hell, and she performed. That meeting changed everything in her life and her career after that point. She took every meeting, went after it even crazier than everybody, got urgent, started attacking. I remember when I first started speaking, I was terrified, but instead of starting small, I jumped straight into speaking to hundreds of people. Why? Because I knew if I could handle that pressure, everything else would feel easy. You want it to feel easy? Go big or go home. Strategy number four, create public accountability. Ooh, even that word probably makes a few of you nervous. Tell people what you're going to do, make it public, post it on Facebook, make it impossible to quit without everybody knowing. Here's what happens when you embrace these pressures. What used to break you now barely even registers. Those big dragons, those big demons that you felt were so huge, they're no longer big anymore. They're just little baby dragons. What used to seem impossible now feels inevitable. You develop what I call pressure immunity. You're immune to this stuff, guys. You're used to chasing it every every day. Now we're gonna go into becoming the best. Becoming the best isn't a one-time event. It's a daily commitment to getting better. I want you to write that down, daily commitment. You have to win the day. I used to think about all these things in the future, and then I just thought, I gotta freaking win this day. Here's the system that champions have used under us for the last several years. Step number 1, daily self-audit. Every day, audit yourself. What did I do well? What could I improve? And what do I need to do differently tomorrow? Real quick hack. On my calendar, every day at noon, there's something that says daily audit. I audit my attitude. I audit, did I hit my high income earning activities? And is my food on point up until this point in the day? It's important for me to eat good and work out and do all my stuff. So I literally audit what my day would look like. I look back and I feel like if I've got a win halfway through the day. If I haven't, I make a pivot. And then by the end of the day, I have another alarm on my phone to do a daily audit. Step number 2, seek brutal feedback. Don't ask for feedback, demand it. And when you get it, don't defend yourself. Use it as fuel for improvement. Step number 3, study your failures. Most people try to forget about their failures. They try to sweep it under the rug. Champions, they study them like a freaking scientist, man. Every failure contains the seeds of your future success. Step number 4, benchmark against the best. Constantly study the best in your field. What are they doing? What are you not? How can you close the gap? That's why, let me add a little hack in here. That's why you need to be at self-improvement events. You need to be at seminars. You need to be seeing what other people are doing. You also need to be seeing what some of the best speakers in your industry are doing so you can go model what they're doing and do it even better. Step number 5, write this down. Experiment and iterate. Try new approaches. Test different strategies. The best always are evolving, always adapting, and always improving. It's like a sales script. Find the right scripts that work and then refine them and then grow them. Don't just stay in place. Don't be stagnant. Here's the champion's daily routine. I want you to stay locked in. My winners right now, you've been writing, you've been taking notes. Lean into this last part, the champion's daily routine. If you show me your routine, I will show you your future. Promise you, if you don't have this locked in, everything else that I said is irrelevant, okay? So write this down. Morning, you should study and prepare. You should spend 30 to 45 minutes in the morning studying and preparing for your day, which means at 4:30 a.m., I am at my kitchen table, I'm reading the Bible, and I'm going over the objections that Andy's laid out for me and my team to memorize. I'm going over those things, okay? Spending a little time with God, a little time with myself, studying. I'm going into the day already feeling like I'm stacking some wins. By the way, didn't hit the snooze button, so I'm not opting into being a loser, okay? On your workday, execute at the highest level. I want you to write this down. Execute at the highest level, which means when you come in, are you hitting your high income earning activities? Are you executing, or are you making yourself feel busy, but you're really going broke, but your ass is thinking you're doing stuff just to make yourself feel busy, but you're not doing anything? In the evening, write this down. Evening, review and improve. Review and improve. What did you do? What could you have done better? Very simple. You're going to repeat this for years, not days, for years. This isn't glamorous. It's not exciting. This is unglamorous. Behind the scenes work that creates legends isn't sexy. While everyone else is looking for shortcuts, you're putting in the work, okay? What you have to understand about this legacy mindset that I have and that Andy has and that all of the winners in the world have, here's what separates the truly great from everyone else. They don't just want to be good. They want to be remembered. I want you to write this down. Legacy mindset. What legacy will you leave behind? What are you going to be remembered for? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be known for? Write these questions down. What do you want to be known for? How do you want people to remember you? What impact do you want to have on your industry? What standards do you want to set for others? Your kids, your family, the people around you. The best don't just compete with their peers. They compete with history. They ask themselves, how can I be so good that people study what I do years from now? I see them all the time. We have some of the best clients in the world. We operate this way. When I was building my sales career, I didn't just want to be the best salesperson in my dealership. I wanted to be the best salesman in the country. And I became exactly like that in a few different industries. And for 8.5 years straight, I dominated the car business. But it wasn't about the title of being a champion. It was about proving to myself and others what was possible. When you refuse to accept average, it's the greatest feeling in the world. People will come up to me all around the world and and they've heard my story. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I did all this for a reason. But I'm just telling you, God's not going to come down and show you what your life's going to look like in the next 10 years of you doing this work. You have to have faith. You have to have belief in yourself. You have to understand that you have the same 24 hours as everyone else. You have access to the same information I have. You have the same opportunities. The only difference is what you choose to do with them. So listen up, because this is where everything changes. You've got the blueprint. You know what it takes, but knowledge without action is worthless. Right now you have a choice. You can close this video and go back back to the regular life and stay exactly where you are. Or you can make the decision that changes everything. If you're serious about becoming the best, if you're ready to stop making excuses and start making serious, big, bold moves, then I want to personally help get you there. Text me live events to 480-780-2203 and I'll personally reach out to you and talk to you about the next event that you can come down and spend a couple of days with us here in our headquarters in Scottsdale, Arizona, and run with us, work out with us, learn from us, spend time around our families. Everything that we do that I find truly amazing. The life that we're living now is something I could have never even imagined, and it all came from this Champions Blueprint. It all came from this video. I'd go back and watch this video over and over again, send it to your friends. I hope you loved it. Thanks for supporting us on our channel, and let's go kick some butt. So if you're still watching this, instead of texting me, you're already proving you're not ready for greatness. Like I explained, champions don't hesitate. They don't overthink. They act. Text me right now. I can't wait to help you out. Your champion journey starts with this one text, one decision, one moment of courage. The best version of yourself is waiting on the other side of that text message. Can't wait to talk to you. Let's go. Text 480-780-2203. Stop watching, start doing. Text me now and let's build a life of legends together.